my family? Today we're going to be talking about both juniors. They're supposed to be going at it. You know, y'all been seeing the circulation of it. We're talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr. and we also talking about Roy Jones Jr. today. That's right. So this is a pretty interesting conversation that we're going to have today because I think both of them are some wonderful boxers. You know, I've seen Roy over the years, and I've also seen Floyd Mayweather do his thing with his money team. Went over there, got my hair cut and the whole nine, and they doing some wonderful things over here in the New York area. They even was doing something with the physical fitness gym. I got to see if they set that back off because they was doing some studio thing with Money Mayweather brand on it. So I got to see if that's still in motion. However, Roy Jones, let's talk about Roy Jones first. I was looking at the last fight when I seen Roy Jones was fighting Mike Tyson. So I asked myself, I said, well, is Roy Jones Jr. going to fight the same way he fought? Now, this all got set off after Floyd Mayweather was showing himself sitting down and looking at the fights where Roy had lost. He didn't play the one with Mike Tyson, but there was a clear message that, he doesn't agree with idea of Sugar Ray Robinson, or is it Sugar Ray Leonard? Excuse me, Sugar Ray Leonard being in the top five, and Roy Jones Jr. saying he don't think Mayweather have all the skill sets that he need to have, including the heart, to be able to fight at that capacity, like Sugar Ray Leonard. But like I was saying, I was also looking at the fact of that last fight with Tyson, and I said he had more time to prepare. He could have been working on his cardio, on his skill sets, and if he had been doing that since his last fight with Mike Tyson, it's a possibility he can pull it off. Why? Because he has a lot of knowledge, and if he's been still hitting the gym, hitting the gym like he's supposed to, like Mike Tyson was at that time, and Mike Tyson last fight against this other guy that he lost, I see the fact that he was in way better shape. He didn't have no health issues, so Mike Tyson pulled it off when he fought Roy. However, now Roy, if he's in shape, then he might give Mayweather, Money Mayweather, a run for his money. Now we also have to talk about the age factor. Floyd Money Mayweather is a lot younger than Roy. So most people will say he's gonna win just off of that. Oh, he's younger, so he gonna beat him because he's younger. His legs is probably a lot more in shape. And he might sock it to him. Once again, these are both excellent fighters, and I think the whole idea was that Roy was trying to say that they put Money Mayweather to fight almost like he didn't really fight a lot of people in their prime. He basically was fighting dudes, and he was just focused on the money and attaining that, versus fight the dudes when they at their best, and then put your skills to the test. So I think that's what I could kind of hear from Roy Jones when I look at a lot of his conversations and interviews. However, like I said, this will be an excellent fight, and I want y'all to know, let me know in the comments below what y'all think about Roy Jones versus Floyd. You talking about a senior versus, even though they're close in age, but you talking about two different style of fighters. Money Mayweather like to run. Reminds me of point fighting. He liked to run, what I'm saying? But he's good at what he does. He took the Philly shuffle, he made it his, and he have his own way of expressing it. However, Roy Jones Jr. reminds me more of the unorthodox fighter. He reminds me of that unorthodox fighter because, his setups is not the same. His combinations are not the same, And once again, he's a knockout artist. He liked to knock him out. And even though he has some challenges with Mike Tyson, remember, he wasn't in the best shape of his life. And Mike Tyson is a different kind of fighter. And keep in mind all the years that he wasn't in the ring. So I think that's probably why he has some challenges. So I think this is going to be a great fight. Why? Because you never know what to expect. Floyd, we know Floyd stayed in the gym. However, if Roy Jones been in the gym as well, just as much as Mayweather been in the gym, then it will be a good fight. And once again, if Roy has been in the gym since he lost that fight with Mike Tyson, his skill sets should be way sharper. I gotta say that right off the jump. So yes, I will pay for the fight. Yeah, I would like to see that fight. Who else is gonna watch that fight? Let me know in the comments below. Money May versus Roy Jones Jr. Who gonna be watching the fight? I need to know in the comments below. All right, let me know. Let me know. I think it's a great fight. I think Pacquiao is supposed to be fighting too. He's supposed to be fighting somebody else as well. But anyway, just staying on the Floyd Money Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. Like I said, age versus youth. Floyd is younger. He got his own ideas about the top five. And Roy Jones Jr. got his own idea about the top five too. So we can clearly see, even though they don't agree with one another, they both fighters, they do it well. And sometimes there's going to be a little beef. Yeah, it's going to be a little beef because he looked up to who he looked at from his side growing up and even going into the history. And I'm pretty sure Mike Tyson might have his top five that are different from Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather. So it is what it is, y'all. Aside from getting caught up in that type of beef, the main thing, they're both excellent fighters. And we know that it'll be a great fight. They wanted to do a what's the name fight? I guess exhibition fight, but Roy Jones said, nah, we might as well fight for real. Forget all that exhibition stuff like, we 100 years old. So yeah, I respect that. Let's just give him the real, let's just give him the real. If I fought Tyson, this is what I'm getting from Roy Jones. If I fought Tyson, then I could fight this guy, you know what I'm saying? Ain't like he got the power like Mike Tyson, like he could generate power, but listen, he can't generate like Mike Tyson did. So I think that encourages him also to want to, listen, I got in there with Mike Tyson. So if I got in there with Tyson, all I got to do is just make sure I keep up with you like I'm jogging. I just got to keep up with you because you like running. So I just got to keep up with you, versus, always worry about you knocking me out like when he was fighting Mike Tyson. So like I said, I think it's going to be an excellent fight. And Roy Jones Jr., I think that I think he, this is something personal because they've been arguing about this for years about the top five, and not for nothing, but Money Mayweather did say, he respect what Muhammad Ali brought to the game, but that was just his time, where he was dealing with those type of situations, even though we're still dealing with some situations like that now, but his focus is different, He happened to be in a position and he just went at it a different way. And he do give him his props for it, but you can clearly see he still have his top five. And that's his top five, and sometimes it might change. Roy gave his top five. And yeah, it was interesting to know that, like I said, it's going to be a good fight. And if you don't think it is, it's okay. I just want to know how you're feeling about this. Put it in the comments below. You can put it now or you can put it once I post this. And I just want to know, once again, what's your thoughts about this fight? Because some of y'all probably was born before myself, and y'all probably got a lot more knowledge in the game. Like I came up watching, what's this guy named with the bald head? Not Lennox Lewis. Dang, I got his name right on the tip of my tongue. All right, I'm having a hard time trying to remember too much. But he had a bald head, and he was a very great fighter. His name will come back to me. I grew up also watching, George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, and all of them, And I was about to say Lennox Lewis, but there's another guy, Hagler. There you go, Mr. Bald Head, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. There it is. I got to get an association. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and also I got another brother named Professor Marvin, who had a very great calisthenic toy, so I got to put them in the same for association. Anyway, this was a wonderful boxer, and also he was military. Yeah, he was in the military. He came out, and he was doing this boxing thing, and I didn't even know he was in the military until years later. Then I heard some of his ideas. Him and Foreman, man, their mental toughness was deep. I heard him and what's the name say something. He said, "Yo, Marvelous Marvin said, yo, I'm trying to kill him when I get in there. He don't even know. He came to box. I came to kill him, take his head off." And I heard what's the name say the same thing. What's his name? That passed away. Rest in peace to George Foreman. I heard George Foreman say something like that too. He said, "Listen, they came in there to box. I came in there, take their head off. You know what I'm saying? Lay them down, put them down. You know." He said, "Yo, they don't even know. I didn't come in there to box. I came there to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bigger than y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna make sure they feel it." I even seen George Foreman workout was like, yo, his routine was even crazy. You know, he was doing stuff I know that other boxers would not do when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, make sure you're perfecting. And then I heard a little bit more about his story, even though we ain't talking about him right now. But I heard that he didn't even want to get back into boxing, but before he came out with that grill and all that, I heard that, you know, he had to get back because he wanted to support his family. He had a big family. I think all his sons, and I think his daughter name is Georgette, and all his sons, I think their name is George too. George Jr. and George Super Jr., if I said that right. Yeah, but anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. All his son's name is George after him. That's pretty cool. If you got like 5, 6 sons and all of them name is George Jr., I probably got the number wrong. But yeah, he had a family. He got back in the game. And just learning that, I learned something new about boxers and martial arts daily. So I think that was super cool. I even heard some other stuff about Billy Blanks with his instructor. We talk about that at another time. But if you do want to know, you can put it in the comments below. I'm checking your comments now. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hoping y'all have a great weekend. Okay, which martial arts are you working on? Well, today, in this day and time, I'm working on more of perfecting my Taekwondo skills. As I'm learning more about the sniper fighting, when I study the stance and the other techniques, you know, it's a little blending of boxing, you know, kickboxing, and also, depending on the day, we're training to Taekwondo, and also a little bit of karate, because, you know, we're doing a tournament coming up in September. So it's okay if you be a bully, you know what I'm saying? And Taekwondo is very cool. I just was talking to my Taekwondo brothers last week and a week before that. And yeah, we're going to be getting back together so I can polish up some of my other skill sets. You know, yeah, I got to keep my skill sets polished. So I'm very grateful to be able to get with them and perfect some more of the form, because I was always doing my first school forms. And I didn't really, I'm just be honest with you, I didn't really take a whole lot of time as much as I did with doing my Kung Fu and Tai Chi forms to do the Taekwondo form. So yeah, I'm going to get back into that and really master that. And also my other Taekwondo instructor was also doing Hapkido. So I'm going to challenge myself also to get back more into my Hapkido, you know, self-defense and all that stuff there. But thank you for your question. And once again, I want to hear what y'all got to say about this fight. Do you think you're going to watch it? Do you think it's going to be a good fight? Roy Jones versus Floyd. Let me know in the comments below. And I'm not talking about his father, Senior. I'm talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr. Just to be clear. And Roy Jones Jr., did y'all even know that he got cheated one time in the Olympics? I remember when I seen that video. This is why I was telling this young brother or sister, well, actually, it was a young brother. I was telling him about why he need to put a little respect, because he was really getting crazy on this YouTube, on my YouTube page. And I just told him, listen, at the end of the day, there's politics in combat. You know what I'm saying? And if I gave you the scorecard and I showed the video and I told you I got 2 karate grand champions that agree with me that Benny Jet Urquidez is nice, but he is not undefeated, I said, it is what it is. Get out your emotions, you know? And he was just saying what he was saying, and I said, I know how I feel. But listen, they got a lot of us. And if the proof is there and that they went behind the scenes and did some politics after the fight, I got the scorecard. I gave it to him, and I just said, come on, man, get your knowledge up, man. And if they did it, that's what happened. You know, but I do understand people get mad, and I got to understand where he at, you know. He just want to go with the, with that program that he's undefeated. Okay, cool, no problem. But then again, I want to just deal with the truth, because a lot of times, I've got cheated. I know students that got cheated. That's not a good thing to experience, even though it will help you work harder and work on your work ethic and all that. But the main thing is not a good thing when people are cheated, just like they did Roy Jones. Went to a tournament, he clearly beat them. I think it was in Korea, and they gave it to the other guy. Did he let that stop him? No. So what I learned out about that whole thing is never let nothing stop you. Even right now, if they say Roy Jones too old, Guess what? He still got to fight with what he believes. They might say, okay, you're not good enough. You just lost against Tyson. So I like the fact that he's still going to go forth. He's still speaking his mind, and he's still going to let them hand skills shine for this upcoming fight. And if you don't think it's going to be a good fight, I'd like to know who you think you would like to see Floyd Mayweather fight or Roy Jones. Because there's some other great boxers out there that, they maybe could fight versus just the one that they put in front of us because they top 5, But anyway, I hope y'all having a blessed day. Not hoping. Y'all have a blessed, awesome day. And I just want to get on here and talk with y'all. Make sure you get your forms in. Make sure you work on your Taekwondo kicks and flexibility skills. That's what I'm about to go do. Yep, got to stretch and flex. And I appreciate y'all coming on. If y'all got any comments, y'all can put it in the comments below. Because I don't got a flow right now. But if y'all want to talk, let me see some comments and let's talk. If you got any questions in regards to the page, you could also, oh yeah, thank you. I got to make sure I pin this message because that was an awesome question. All right. And once again, aside from working on the Taekwondo, just to answer your question, and I appreciate the question, I'm also working on my first system, which is Kung Fu style, mixed with a little bit of boxing. Yeah. So yeah, aside from the Taekwondo, little Tai Chi, Kung Fu, and a little boxing. Oh yeah. Got to keep those skill sets sharp because at the end of the day, I did challenge myself to learn something new. But then also, I know it's a good thing when you can keep your old skill set sharp as well. Especially if you've been doing them so long, just do them better. As Bruce Lee said, take what you need and disregard the rest. So I sharpen my horse stance now. I'm doing a lot of better mobility training because there was a lot of years where, and I learned till I become a personal trainer, I was doing a horse stance, but I was just letting my knees go over my toes. And I didn't feel the pain immediately, but over the years, I started to feel the pressure, and I started to see I needed to align my body better. And that's what I started doing. So now, 49 years young, yeah, I'm doing a lot more mobility training. I look at how I'm doing my training, and I make adjustments, and that's very important. Whatever age you are, you make adjustments so that you can get more out of your training versus just keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Let me see these comments. All right, y'all. So that's my time because I don't see no comments. But I thank y'all for being on. Don't forget, keep on praying and keep on pushing. You got this. And if God be for you, nothing or nobody can be against you. All right. Enjoy your weekend. Stay blessed and no stress. Master.